It didn't begin with bombs. It began with a flicker. 2:17 a.m. Tehran. At a quiet intersection beneath the sodium glow of streetlights, a traffic signal blinked once. It corrected itself instantly. It works perfectly. No one noticed the glitch in Tehran. But somewhere far beyond the city's skyline, someone saw it. Inside fortified command rooms in Tehran, senior officers of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps monitored a wall of live surveillance feeds. Traffic grids pulsed in real time. Convoy routes updated by the second. Encrypted camera streams flowed through secured fiber lines. Every intersection mapped. Every lens authenticated. Every corridor controlled. They believed the capital was sealed. The inner circle of the supreme leader moved with disciplined precision. Routes were cleared minutes before departure. Intersections locked remotely. Cameras swept ahead of motorcades in widening rings of visibility. Secure corridors formed through the city like invisible tunnels. Tehran was not just a city, it was a controlled environment. What no one inside those rooms understood was this: the system had already been mirrored. Years earlier, a quiet operation had begun. Not with sabotage, not with blackouts, but with patience. Instead of shutting systems down, unknown operators studied them. Instead of breaking encryption loudly, they learned its rhythm. Maintenance backdoors, small vulnerabilities accumulated over time. They did not turn off the cameras. They copied them. Every encrypted stream continued flowing into Tehran's command centers, unchanged, uninterrupted, unquestioned. But elsewhere, those same streams were being reconstructed into something far more powerful: a living digital map of the capital's security architecture, traffic patterns, convoy timing, emergency overrides, license plate recognition logs, individually meaningless, together predictive. Analysts layered months of data into an evolving model, a digital twin of the city's power structure. Weather shifts, traffic density, prayer schedules were integrated into forecast algorithms. The guardians of the capital trusted their system completely. They never considered that the city itself was revealing them. One senior intelligence official would later summarize the operation in a single line:
"We didn't chase the target. We let the city expose it."
And by the time anyone realized the flicker mattered, the intelligence war was already over. On the surface, the cameras and traffic lights served Iran's own regime: the Tehran Municipality Traffic Department, the police, the Revolutionary Guard Corps, and the Ministry of Intelligence. They monitored streets, enforced rules, and kept watch over dissidents, protests, and VIP movements. That was their official job. But behind the curtain, for years, they had been secretly working for Israel, specifically for Unit 8200, the Israel Defense Forces unit under the Military Intelligence Directorates, which handles military intelligence for the Israeli Armed Forces. Somewhere far from Tehran's humming streets, analysts stared at glowing monitors in silent rooms, not blinking, not celebrating, just watching. Every traffic camera feed, encrypted, not disrupted, not erased, just copied. That was the genius of it. The city functioned normally. Drivers never suspected. Security teams never noticed. The red lights still turned green. The pedestrian countdown still blinked. But behind the scenes, the data stream forked like a river, splitting in the dark. One branch flowing into Tehran's command center, the other flowing straight to Unit 8200 servers in Tel Aviv and southern Israel. The watchers began to learn the rhythm of the capital. Morning convoys leaving the Beit Rabari compound, black sedans with tinted windows gliding through cleared intersections, motorcycle outriders signaling coded movements, bodyguards scanning rooftops from inside armored SUVs. Patterns formed, routes repeated, security bubbles expanded and contracted like breathing lungs. What had once been unpredictable became mathematical. The cruel irony was almost poetic. The very system designed to protect the supreme leader became the blueprint for tracking him. Every time a road was sealed ahead of a convoy, the cameras recorded it. Every time plainclothes security units arrived 10 minutes early to sweep a route, their arrival timestamps were logged. Every time backup vehicles idled in side streets, thermal signatures quietly flared on infrared overlays. Individually, each detail meant nothing, Together, they became a map. The software predicted movement windows with uncanny precision. It calculated safe corridors. And then something extraordinary happened. The predictions started coming true. Deep inside CIA headquarters, sophisticated software silently monitoring Iran's fiber optic networks suddenly lit up. An intercepted intelligence report slipped through the regime's secure Basir fiber network that connected its most guarded compounds, revealed something explosive. A rare high-level meeting scheduled for the morning of February 28th at the Beit Rabari compound. Khamenei himself, along with top generals and senior advisors, would all be gathered in one place. To confirm the exact location, U.S. Kh-11 atmospheric surveillance satellites swung into position high above Iran. They didn't just photograph the surface, they analyzed everything beneath it. They measured the exact floor levels, calculated the thickness of the reinforced concrete bunkers, mapped the entire underground tunnel network, and pinpointed the most likely bunker hall where the meeting would take place. 15 meters underground, protected by layer after layer of hardened slabs. With that crystal clear picture, the CIA and IDF jointly chose the perfect weapon for the mission, the GBU-28 bunker buster bomb. The only munition powerful enough to punch straight through 15 meters of reinforced concrete and vaporize everything inside. One camera, angled just right, watched the parking lot outside the leadership compound. It saw the cars arrive. It saw the doors open. It saw the last general disappear inside. 6 a.m. Israel time. At Nebatim Air Base in the south and Ramat David Air Base in the north, nearly 200 Israeli F-35I Adir stealth fighters and other advanced jets roared to life on the runways. The largest combat air operation in Israeli history. They're loaded with long-range precision missiles and GBU-28 bunker buster bombs. Weapons designed to punch through mountains and reinforce concrete. IDF Cyber Warfare Unit injects deep packet malware into the IRGC's Basir fiber optic network, crippling command systems from the inside. U.S. advanced atmospheric surveillance satellites provide super coordination, feeding live data to every pilot and command center. A joint cyber strike completely paralyzes Iran's long-range and medium-range air defenses scattered across the country. Iran had built a formidable layered shield around Tehran and central strategic hubs. Long-range Bavar 373 systems and Russian-origin S-300 launchers guarded the capital and nearby nuclear and government sites. In the Isfahan region, major industrial and nuclear heartland, repositioned S-300 batteries stood watch. Across western and southwestern sectors, mobile Kordad-15 batteries covered airspace near the Iraq border and sensitive military installations, including one battery near Bandar Mashar in Khuzestan province. Nationwide, dozens of mobile systems, Rad, Mersad, and others, created overlapping coverage, constantly shifting during exercises and heightened tensions. They were Iran's pride. The regime believed no enemy could fly through that net. But in the opening hours of Operation Epic Fury, the IDF turned that pride into rubble. F-35I Adir stealth fighters, invisible to radar, swept across the country in waves. They unleashed precision-guided munitions, Spice 2000 and JDAM kits, Delilah cruise missiles, and Popeye turbo standoff weapons, striking every major air defense site with surgical accuracy. One after another, the shields fell. Tehran's Bavar 373 batteries vanished in fireballs. Isfahan's S-300 launchers were erased from satellite imagery. Western Kordad 15 units near the border went silent. Mobile Rad and Mersad systems across multiple provinces were hunted down and destroyed before they could even power up. Every single Iranian air defense system, from the mountains to the coast, went blind. The entire sky over Iran becomes free airspace. That's when the jets turn toward Tehran. Pilots gripping the sticks, their HUDs light up with glowing red brackets. The CIA's real-time satellite feed, everything converges into one crystal-clear picture. They know the exact location of the Beit Rabari compound like it's burned into their souls. The thermal signatures from the 15-meter deep underground bunker pulse on their screens, bright, unmistakable. Khamenei and his generals are right there, exactly where intelligence promised they would be. The lead formation streaks low and fast over the Iranian landscape, the morning sun glinting off their wings. Then they release. The GBU-28 bunker busters blast through the sky, long, fiery streaks screaming toward the target with terrifying, machine-like precision. They hit simultaneously. More than 30 bombs dropped by several waves of jets in a perfectly timed barrage slam into the Supreme Leader's private residence bunker and the adjacent National Security Council headquarters buildings. The explosions are apocalyptic. The reinforced concrete slabs 15 meters underground simply vanish in a fireball. The shockwave rips outward for over 800 meters, sending a rolling wall of dust and debris through the streets. And in the underground bunker, it was already too late. In under 90 seconds, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, Supreme Leader of Iran, is gone. Ali Shamkhani, head of the Supreme National Security Council and the regime's top strategist, is gone. Sayed Abdulrahim Musavi, Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces, is gone. Mohammed Pakpour, commander of the IRGC ground forces, is gone. Aziz Nasser Zaid, defense minister, is gone. Dozens of other senior officers die in the same coordinated wave. But epic fury was far bigger. 5 pillars of Iran's power were shattered in the hours that followed. First, the Fordow fuel enrichment plant, buried deep inside a mountain, enriching uranium to near weapons-grade levels, hit directly and heavily damaged. Second, the Natanz nuclear enrichment facility, the beating heart of Iran's nuclear program with thousands of centrifuges, struck decisively and set back decades. Third, the Khojar missile complex near Tehran, the heart of ballistic missile production, completely destroyed. Fourth, the Bandar Abbas naval base on the Persian Gulf, IRGC Navy headquarters at the entrance to the Strait of Hormuz, severely damaged. Fifth, the Parshin military complex, Iran's most secretive weapons research hub, key labs and test sites eliminated. Meanwhile, from the USS Carney, a U.S. guided missile destroyer positioned in the Arabian Sea, Tomahawk cruise missiles streaked toward command centers in eastern Iran. Their mission was simple but deadly: sever the regime's ability to coordinate any large-scale retaliation. Nearly 200 Israeli jets owned the skies. Iran's missile factories, navy, and nuclear backbone, broken in hours. At first, Iranian officials desperately insisted he is alive and commanding. Hours later, the truth hit, confirming the Supreme Leader's state. National mourning declared. Iran launched Operation True Promise 4. Hundreds of missiles and drones raining down on Israel and U.S. bases across the region. Dubai airport struck. Luxury hotels in the UAE set ablaze. Attacks hit Bahrain, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Kuwait. Iran claimed an Israeli strike hit a girls' school in the south. Over 170 children dead. The site sat right next to a naval base. That claim is still under investigation. A provisional government formed and immediately vowed revenge. Protests erupted around the world, some mourning the fallen leader, others quietly celebrating the end of decades of fear. Supporters called it a necessary strike to crush an imminent nuclear threat. Critics called it reckless, a war of choice launched without full congressional approval.
Not only because they're optional, because if every nation went out to strike adversaries who they thought were temporarily weak, we would live in a world of constant.
But one truth stands above everything. The regime that ruled through fear for 37 years was exposed, tracked, and struck from the very shadows it thought were safe. With more than 30 bombs dropped by several jets to make sure nothing survived, the future remains uncertain. Operation Epic Fury wasn't the end, it was only the beginning. What happens next in Iran? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. And as I'm making this video right now, more information is still coming out. I'll update you the moment I have it. If you want the hidden stories, the hacks, the strikes, the real power plays no one else is showing, hit subscribe and turn on notifications, because some wars start in total silence, long before the explosions.